Hello, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary, and welcome to From the Heart.
Orlando is widely known for its tourist spots and attractions, but many people don't know about its thriving arts community.
We are excited to introduce to you talented and passionate artists who shape our arts community. How do they create and why? How can Orlando benefit from an even greater arts presence?
On each episode, we'll meet guests who are influential leaders and artists who are truly making a difference.
From the Heart.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to From the Heart. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary.
We're excited to bring to you all that's new and good when it comes to the arts in Central Florida.
Today, we're talking with Terry Olson, Director of the Orange County Arts and Cultural Affairs Office. He's here to tell us more about his role and work with arts and cultural affairs. Welcome, Terry.
Welcome, Terry.
Glad to be here.
Terry, tell us a little bit about your office and your role.
Well, the Office of Arts and Cultural Affairs was created at the turn of this century when Orange County took a look at the arts. What do we have? How is it funded? How is it impacted by education? How does it impact in education? So I was hired to create the office in 2001, and we were given a tool of 3% of the first 4 cents of the 6-cent tourist development tax, which continues to grow as our tourism tax continues to grow, which is great, and that we can invest into arts and culture in ways that are allowed by the state regulations about tourist development taxes. And then I was also really given the freedom to create what is this office and how can it help in developing the infrastructure to grow our arts community. So I've been having a great fun doing that.
Awesome. You said tourist tax. What are some things that might go to?
The tourist tax, basically we have 2 funding programs that come out of that, which is our cultural tourism program. Each summer, arts groups that are doing projects which they will promote outside of the area, beyond 50 miles, that might bring people here because it's unique and innovative or of such a quality that they would want to travel that far to see it, can apply for funding. And we also have cultural facilities program. In January, groups can apply if they meet the qualifications for bricks and mortar kind of thing.
Well, I know that you also have other ways of funding. I know you have the awesome foundation that you do, but what are some other ways that arts and culture can get funding from your office?
Well, Orange County also is the largest funder of United Arts, and our Arts and Culture Affairs Advisory Council, which was also set up, 13 members from the community who look after Orange County's investment in the art, including the tourist development tax, but also from the general fund. So since its formation, when Orange County helped form United Arts back in 1989, the county has nearly every year given $1 per citizen, $1 per capita. And there's over 1 million citizens. From general fund, and some has been supplemented from the tourist development tax in the last few years when things were going down a bit, property taxes, to United Arts to distribute to all groups. They don't have to specialize in cultural tourism or that kind of thing. But so through United Arts, through those 2 funding programs, those are the main ways that we support the arts. You mentioned the Awesome Foundation, which is kind of separate. Although I was looking for funding for something and saw that there's an awesome foundation.
Tell us about that.
With different chapters, actually 100 around the world. Started 5 years ago in Boston. Some young tech entrepreneurs wanted to do something to make their city more awesome, and they thought about different ways, and they came up with the formula that once a month they would get together, 10 of them, each bring $100, and put that $1,000 towards some project, no strings attached, a person or whatever.
Just had to be awesome.
They would add awesomeness to the universe. So
what was the first one?
I don't know what the first project was, but I said, hey, why don't we have in Orlando? I called some people that have been former board members or whatever and said, you want to form a chapter? And they're like, yeah. So each month, 10 people get together. They bring $100 to give to me, look at the Awesome Foundation website for Orlando, and pick which project they think is most awesome, and I go off and deliver that $1,000 to that person.
So what are some awesome projects that have been able to be awarded?
The Distance Music Project, where Keith Blay, award-winning composer, works at Full Sail, is going to be placing 7 train horns on a scale in Lake Eola, putting brass trios or quartets up on top of rooftops, and then composing a composition, taking in mind the amount of time it takes for music to travel a certain distance. So as you walk around Lake Eola, that 45-acre park, you'll hear a melody in different ways because of where things are positioned.
And wow, and that was only $1,000.
That's what we gave him. He raised some more money for that
I'm just
because
curious.
he's got a number of musicians he wants to pay. And
So if we wanted to get 8 other people together and do something awesome, we could do that?
sure, become an Awesome Foundation chapter, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it would be
you
great.
Like to do that?
Yeah, we should totally
I'll
do that.
put in $100 and
Any
we'll let you know
listeners that
what we
want to
did.
give us money for that Awesome Foundation? I don't know what's better, being awesome or getting the $1,000. I think probably just being named awesome.
Oh, we
would
have
be-
to ask Jill Sharga. She just did a TED Talk on awesome.
So you, Terry, you really took this office on in 2001, as you said. Tell us a little bit how the arts have changed since then, because I know the landscape of that in Orange County has drastically changed. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, one thing I would say is our arts are beginning to mature as organizations. We have a lot of innovation and founders that are the arts people, like yourself. And then getting the professional support behind that is really important to make those organizations continue and be sustainable. Because we've seen a number of organizations fall off, come and go during that 13 years that I've been doing this. So I think we've always been innovative, but we're learning how to put the foundations underneath that so that it can be sustainable and can be known by more than a few people. And I've been there too. I've produced some fabulous theater things, and like 300 people maybe saw it, and it was fabulous, like experience they hadn't had somewhere else. But maybe we can be more than that.
Someone watching today, if they wanted to be of support, how could they help? Is there any way?
Well, finances is a basic support of the arts groups, and the first way to do that is buy a ticket. OrlandoAtPlay.com lists hundreds of opportunities for one to get out and experience great things. I myself may be at 40 different gallery openings or productions, concerts during a month. There's a lot to see and do. So first thing is buy a ticket. That's the best way to support, as well as to know personally what's going on. But the second way is through United Arts or individually to a particular organization. But United Arts raises funds for 50 organizations in Orange County and more in the 4-county area.
I think sometimes when someone doesn't have arts as a part of their life, if they weren't grown up, they didn't grow up that way, they didn't know, they're just not sure if it's for them, if they're invited, if it's okay. So if they just go to OrlandoAtPlay.com and see something that looks intriguing to them, just take the risk and go.
Yep. And there's Orlando at Play will also list a number of free things.
Nice.
So the only risk is your time. But then there are festivals like the Fringe Festival where you can go and, for $10
Or free for the kids' fringe.
you can experience something that's probably going to be short. And if you don't like that, there's another thing. Try a couple things. So there's lots of opportunities to see things exciting.
And I know that we don't have too much time, but I think this is important to ask you. Someone not really having been brought up in the arts that doesn't really do much with that scene, why is it important that they do, and why are the arts important to Orlando?
Well, we are a crossroads of the world, and crossroads of the world are where world cultural capitals happen. When you look back at human history, what do you remember about great civilizations? It's their arts and culture. So what we do here will be a reflection for history of who we are. And as we develop and have world-class people innovating in like theme park entertainment, in optics and simulation, in medical, those kind of people tend to want to have exciting arts opportunities as well. So we need to build a culture that will keep and attract those innovative and creative people who are going to be doing the next new thing, who are also higher wage earners, who will help with our tax base and provide
More funding.
the money that we need to have roads for the poor people to get to work on, et cetera. So it's all part of a fabric that is very important for a community that's going to grow.
And I loved what you just said. As an arts leader, I don't think I've ever even thought of it that way, that the way we remember civilizations and cultures is through their art. You think about the paintings and the music and all the things that defined a period, and what an incredible challenge for us as art lovers, art patrons, art leaders, is that we are really leaving a mark of history. That's a...
Not just for Orlando, but for our country.
Yeah, I love it. Terry, this has been so great and informative. Thank you. Can you remind us before we go, run out of time, just what that website is again, where we can find out all the arts happenings in Orlando?
Sure. OrlandoAtPlay.com.
Easy enough.
Thank you, Terry. When we come back with Terry, we're going to get to learn a little bit about the man himself. What brought him here today?